So Steve, you're going to do all that technical stuff. All right. Well, welcome everyone. Whether you are joining us live or watching the recording, we are so glad that you've joined us for this incredible learning opportunity about the Holland America 28 Night Alaska. We are Suzanne and Steve Clausen, and we're the owners of Cruise One in Show Low, Arizona. The theme for tonight's presentation is you deserve more of Alaska and more perks on board. And we'll get into that in more detail as we go through the presentation tonight. So here's our quick agenda. We're going to introduce you to our agency. I want you to feel comfortable booking with me. And then Amanda from Holland America and I will reveal why Holland America really is your best choice for Alaska. Steve and I will share some of our personal experiences in Alaska, and we're also going to go into details about the itinerary and all the unique ports that we're going to visit during this cruise. If you are new to my agency, so you maybe found us on social media or were referred by friends, I want you to get to know me. I want you to feel comfortable booking with me. I'm happy to do phone consultations. I want to talk to you about your plans and your dreams and build that strong relationship so we can really make a collaborative effort in all your vacation planning. For me, clients are never just a transaction. And I consider some of my closest friends to be clients with whom I've cruised and gotten to know over the years. So it really is a personalized vacation planning process when you work with us. This is our 11th year in business. In 2019, I won the Opal Award, which was for community service and sales leadership. I used my little bit of downtime in 2020 and 2021 to earn my Master Cruise Counselor. And in 2023, I'm one of the top 2% of the Cruise One Dream Vacations franchises nationwide. I also earned my Elite Cruise Counselor certification this year in April, and that's CLIA's highest certification standard. My business model is very customer focused, and we very much are focused on customer service. I've been cruising for 45 years. There's a picture of me on my very first cruise. My dad was in sales, and if he had a good year, he would splurge and take the whole family on a cruise. Steve and I love partnering with Holland America. We took our honeymoon to Alaska 30 years ago. Most recently, we sailed with them in 2022 on the Rotterdam after the restart of cruising. It was a fabulous experience. And last August, we were on board with Holland America for 24 days. We did a round trip in Boston to Greenland and Canada and Iceland. It was a fabulous experience. We love Alaska too. We've been there many times, and there's no better way to experience it than with Holland America. We ourselves are avid travelers, and with internet being so good around the world and on cruise ships, we are able to run our business from anywhere in the world. We consider that travel an investment in our business and in our clients because we use that firsthand travel experience to help deliver exceptional vacation experiences to all of our clients. I work on behalf of my clients. I have a lot of training and expertise to guide customer decision. There's a cruise line for everybody, so I have a very consultative style. And the best kept secret is that you will pay the same price or better through a travel agent. The commission that travel agents earn is built into the price whether you use one or not. So if you're just going on your own, you're actually paying for something that you're not getting. And that is the services of a travel agent. Very easy to access. Phone, text me, email 24/7. I work for you. Now we're going to talk about more perks. Now is absolutely the best time to book your Holland America cruise because they are offering a Have It All Plus promotion on these 2025 bookings. Upgraded beverage package, upgraded internet. You get the gratuities for your housekeeping and dining staff on board the ship and more. So we're going to go over that a little bit later, but I just wanted to say this is the best time. So now I'm going to introduce Amanda, and she's going to share with us what makes Holland America so special in Alaska. And she's my business development partner, and I'm very glad to welcome here. So Amanda, I'll let you take over for these next couple of slides.
Great. Thanks, Suzanne. I'm very excited to be here tonight with all of you. Thank you so much for taking some time out of your evening to join us. I know both Suzanne, Steve, and I are really excited about this itinerary. It actually is brand new. We haven't even had the first sailing go out, which is going to be going out in 2024. So, such a neat opportunity to take advantage of. But what I want to make sure that I point out to you is what makes Holland America special and what really makes us bring Alaska as a destination to life when you travel with us. So, what's great about Alaska is when you're traveling to Alaska, anytime you travel during May or September is a fantastic time to travel because you really get to see spring, summer, or fall when you're traveling to Alaska. So as you can see from this little chart to the right-hand side, you can see that there is so much to do in that time frame that this sailing is traveling in. So everything that's listed on here, minus the northern lights, because you're going to have a lot of daylight during this time frame, is going to be available for you to see. So this is a perfect time to travel. This is a perfect opportunity to really get to see as much as possible. So very excited to talk to you more about this. So what makes Holland America so special in Alaska? Well, first off, we've been there for 76 years. So our relationship with the communities and the ground handlers within Alaska are extremely strong. They have an incredible foundation, and we are able to offer things that you just can't get with other operators. So we are number one in Glacier Bay. We bring a variety of different experiences while you're on board. We're bringing new and different itineraries, unique experiences, and allowing you freedom and flexibility to be either as active or as relaxed as you want when you're on board. I mentioned those neat excursions that are available. We really want Alaska to come to life for you, whether you're out exploring on land or whether you're traveling on board the ship for a day, getting into Glacier Bay, things like that. So we're going to offer a variety of entertainment, meals, cuisine, excursions that are all going to allow you to immerse yourself in Alaska. I mentioned before being number one in Glacier Bay. This is fact. So we have the most entrances into Glacier Bay National Park because of our history and because of the size of our ships. We are going to get right up to those glaciers. We're going to get up to Marjorie Glacier. We're going to spin that ship around so everybody sees an incredible view no matter where they are on the ship. We open up that front bow so you can get up without any obstacles in your way, any obstructions, and really get to take in this beautiful destination. You can hear the glaciers moving and cracking and creaking. You'll be able to have a full view of any of the wildlife that's there. We also bring the rangers on board along with our naturalists who are going to be able to give you lots of information about all of the wildlife, the flora, the fauna, the native community history, and really what has gone on within Alaska. So, one of the big parts of traveling to Alaska is seeing the wildlife. This is one of the funnest parts of getting into Alaska to see these animals just truly enjoying their natural habitat. Seeing them up close or in a distance, whichever way, is just so rewarding. So you can see all of those wildlife out there. You're going to visit some of these incredible ports that really are well known, popular, and bring Alaska to life. You're going to hit major ports like Juneau, Sitka. You're going to get into Ketchikan and Skagway, which is so well known for the White Pass Rail. But we'll talk a little bit more about that.
Yeah. But what's even better is that the 28-night cruise is going to take us to these places that really no other cruise goes to. And we're going to highlight all the ports and the different unique destinations that's included. So I like to say we've got some familiar favorites and then some unique things. So let's dive into this. And Amanda, you chime in as I'm going along. So this is our map of our incredible itinerary. You get to see how much of Alaska you really get to see on this cruise. There's 4 glacier experiences. So it's not only Glacier Bay, but also College Fjord, Tracy Arm Fjord, and Hubbard Glacier. Plus, you'll visit unique ports like Dutch Harbor, Nome, Kodiak. They're not visited on standard Alaska cruises. The overnight itinerary in Anchorage is going to allow you to go a little bit further inland and take, I mean, you can stay out all night if you want because the sun will be up. You really get to take advantage of Anchorage with the overnighting there. So let's talk about Ketchikan. This is one of the more familiar places that almost all the Alaska cruise to. It really is lovely little town. It has the beautiful Creek Street, and there's a lot of history there. And maybe you want to go in and take in the lumberjack show or something like that. It is an amazing opportunity to visit Sitka. Excuse me, in Ketchikan. Sitka. This is maybe where you might want to get tickets to go see the Russian dancers. And I did look it up. They are performing again. They kind of shut down during COVID, but they are back, the new Archangel dancers. Or maybe you'll enjoy the beauty of the area with wildlife viewing trip. You might go see sea otters. There's places where you can kayak and see the sea otters. There are orcas, and there's even a grizzly bear preserve where you can actually see grizzlies pretty regularly, just right outside of Sitka. Hubbard Glacier is going to be the next place that we're going to visit. And Hubbard Glacier is an advancing glacier in the Yucatan Bay. It's 6 miles broad across the front, and it's one of the most spectacular glaciers to sail by. Often you can spot seals hauled out on the icebergs in the bay, and this glacier calves a lot. So maybe even in June, you might see that phenomenon. We'll be able to get really great pictures of this because the ships sail up and then they take a long drive and then they spin around. So you really get to fully experience that glacier. Prince William Sound and Valdez. So Prince William Sound is a 10,000 square mile protected waterway with islands. It has fjords, it has 150 glaciers in this area. And it's home to humpback whales, orcas, porpoises, sea otters, sea lions, seals. The coastline is also home to 30 species of land animals, including black bears, brown bears, mountain goats, Dall sheep. There is all kinds of wildlife to be found in this area. Over 220 species of migratory and resident birds live here. And Valdez, which is kind of at the end of Prince William Sound, is the place where you really get to experience that authentic Alaska. They have museums, they have antiques, they have the first barrel of oil to ever flow through the Alaska pipeline. And when we visited in 1993 on our honeymoon, we enjoyed a wonderful whitewater rafting trip on the Low River in Keystone Canyon. So it certainly will be nostalgic to go back there. It's been 30 years. College Fjord. So this is the home of 5 tidewater glaciers and dozens of those hanging or valley glaciers. The area was first charted by an expedition was called the Harriman Expedition in 1899, and professors from Harvard and Amherst named the glaciers after the elite colleges of the Northeast. But noticeably absent from that is the name Princeton, because that was their arch rival. So there is no Princeton Fjord, Princeton Glacier in College Fjord. Seward is the next place we're going to visit. It is a fishing village. It is at the terminus of the Alaska Railroad, and it's actually at the start of the Iditarod Trail, not the race. The race starts in Anchorage, but the actual trail starts in Seward. It is home of the Alaska Sea Life Center, which is a very impressive aquarium type, like museum aquarium kind of thing. And it's also near the Kenai Fjords, where there's also glaciers, and you could take excursions out to go see those glaciers in an excursion boat. Lots of things to do there. We do have a couple days at sea going along on our itinerary, but we'll visit Dutch Harbor. And fishing and history are synonymous with Dutch Harbor. It is a World War II battleground, and it is prominently featured in the television show The Deadliest Catch. It is the #1 fishing port in the U.S. with pollock and cod, from the Bering Sea being the most plentiful catches. But of course, we know from The Deadliest Catch that they also catch the king crab up there. And now Nome. Now I have to have a picture of the doggos because this is the terminus of the Iditarod race, the most famous dog sledding race in the world. And the race goes along the same trail as that famous relay, life-saving relay of the diphtheria serum, where they had to use dog sleds to relay the medicine from Anchorage to Nome because there was no other way to get it there. It was the weather was too bad for planes and the boats couldn't make it in time. And if you haven't seen the Disney movie Togo, it's a great little Disney movie about the serum delivery and the dog that led most of the miles of the relay, and his name was Togo. Nome is also a wonderful place where you're going to learn about the gold rush history. You can take a wildlife tour and possibly see the Arctic musk oxen because they are present in the area. In town, you can learn a lot about native arts and even the Bering Sea Land Bridge. They have a whole like museum that's dedicated to that Bering Sea Land Bridge that once connected Russia with the US during the last ice age. So very interesting things to do there. Now, Little Diomede Island is where you can literally see tomorrow at the international date, as the international dateline is located right between Little Diomede Island and Big Diomede Island. And it has a small population of 146 people who are mostly Native Alaskan. And we will do a scenic sail by, but I don't know, maybe we'll circle the island and we'll be able to say, okay, there's tomorrow over there, but we're over here and today. So it's going to be an interesting thing where, you know, it's one of the most unique places because these two islands are separated by the international date line. The Arctic Circle. So we're going to go and sail up into the Arctic Circle. It's located just over 66 degrees north. I think it's like 66.33. On land, this point is often marked with some sort of landmark or maybe a line across the road. Of course, they're not going to have a line across the Arctic Circle, but we will be able to watch it on the TV where they have the routing that we're sailing, the like ship's navigation channel. And we're going to sail across the Arctic Circle. Holland America usually commemorates this with a certificate. We got one when we did this in Iceland last year. So we got a little Arctic Circle certificate from Holland America. And it's a nice way to mark that milestone in your life. Kodiak. This is a 100-mile long island. It is the largest in Alaska and actually the second largest island in the U.S. This is a great place for bearing. Of course, we know that the bears, they're grizzly bears, but they're called Kodiak bears because they have some different features than you would on the mainland grizzly bears. This is a great place for ocean fishing, kayaking, again, history museums. There is a Russian Orthodox church there known as Holy Resurrection Cathedral, and it has those beautiful blue onion domes on it. So lots to see in the Kodiak area. Anchorage. So Anchorage is not the capital, but it is the biggest city with 300,000 people living in it. And we're going to overnight here. Parks and recreation opportunities abound. The Chukash State Park borders the city. It's also home to a Native Heritage Museum, an aviation museum, because we know that aviation played still continues to this day to play such a big part in Alaska because so many parts of it are so remote they can only be reached by airplane. And they have the Anchorage Museum, which is like a history of the city and the state. Popular activities in this area include flight seeing. You can do some shopping for some Native American crafts. There's fishing and hiking, all popular in this area. And I bet you didn't know this, but you can actually fish right in downtown Anchorage. There's a river that runs through. There's an outfitter that rents everything you need for authentic fishing experience right there in downtown. You can rent your waders, your rod, your reel, all your equipment, and buy that $15 per day out-of-state fishing license. So that's something you can experience without even going out of the city of Anchorage. Now, Homer, I actually have a really good friend who lives in Homer. She moved up there about 2 years ago. And it's located on the Kenai Peninsula. It's a city of about 5,000 residents, and it has these beautiful panoramic views. She's always posting pictures on Facebook of like all these beautiful things in Homer. There is a see if I can point it out to you. See this little peninsula? This is called the Homer Spit. And that is actually a place where you can go beachcombing and wildlife watching. You might be trying to see, okay, which can we spot more of, eagles or otters, because they're both abundant in this area. And you can rent a rod and reel here again and buy that $15 fishing license and try your luck in the fishing hole. They even have the iconic Salty Dog Saloon is located on the end of that Homer Spit. Wonderful place to explore. And Holland America, we said this before, they have been bringing guests to Glacier Bay longer than any other cruise line. There are 7 tidewater glaciers in Glacier Bay. The surrounding mountains are 15,000 feet tall. So I live at 6,600 feet elevation. That's pretty darn tall. The bay was actually created when there was one glacier. It receded more than 30 miles between 1794 and 1879. And it's such a beautiful and famous place. It was named a World Heritage Site in 1992. This park is home to a variety of marine life, including humpback whales, orcas, stellar sea lions, harbor seals, sea otters, porpoise, you name it, it can be found in Glacier Bay. In addition to these marine mammals, there's also a chance that you can see both brown and black bears along the shorelines, as well as something that's called a blue glacier bear. And this is a rare color phase of the black bear where they get a little bit of a blue hue in their coat. You can spot moose, wolves, deer, mountain goats. All of these animals thrive in this area. Haines is another one of the charming little communities on the Inside Passage that we're going to visit. It is one of the few places in coastal Alaska, or that southeast part of Alaska, that's actually connected to Canada via a road. The Haines is near Skagway, so you have an opportunity to transfer over to Skagway and take that White Pass and Yukon Railroad all the way up into the Yukon Territory. Or they also have tours that'll take you along the road, which is an equally spectacular view, and again, and that scenic drive as you're heading towards Canada. And now, I said that Anchorage is not the capital of Alaska. Do you know what the capital of Alaska is? It's Juneau. You know, okay, it's a bad joke, but this is one of my favorite places to visit. On our honeymoon, we took a helicopter up to a glacier and walked around on it. That was amazing. They've since added the ability you can take a helicopter to a higher place. It's a mushers camp, and you can do helicopter dog sledding. So you get off the helicopter, you sled around in the snow, because up in the high elevations, there's still snow in the summer. The town can be enjoyed. You can just take a walk from the cruise ship to enjoy the town. There's a SkyTram that heads up to Mount Roberts, where you can either just enjoy the views and take the SkyTram back down, or you can go hiking up there. You can, right on the pier, you can enjoy some fish and chips or some king crab legs. And you can also visit the recently renovated Alaska State Museum, where it really is a world-class museum with all kinds of artifacts and history about the state of Alaska. We're going to be in port from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. This is really going to give you an opportunity to really experience this town, because you can even do 2 excursions. You could do a whale watch in the morning, a salmon bake in the afternoon. You could do the dog sled carts that are, they'll pull you on, you go on land and it's a cart that they pull during the summer. So there's lots of opportunities because of that long time in port to really make the most of your visit to Juneau. The Tracy Arm Fjord. So this is really exciting because this ship is just the right size to navigate this really narrow fjord. Some of the larger ships go in the neighboring Endicott Fjord, but Holland America's Westerden can go down this fjord. You get up close experience with the fjord. You can also take an excursion where you get off the boat onto a little boat that pulls up onto the side, and you explore the waterfalls and the glaciers. They'll pick up ice and put it on the boat so you can hold a piece of glacier ice. Lots of different opportunities, and keep your eyes peeled, because this is home to so many different types of animals: wolves, harbor seals, bears, deer, and a wide variety of birds. You can even see sometimes mountain goats up by the face of the glacier. So Wrangell. So this is one of those ports that is not usually visited by the big cruise ships. Again, the Westertown is one of those perfectly sized ships. And here you have a chance to learn about the Tlingit people. So the Tlingit people have actually been living in this area for thousands of years, and they have so much examples of their culture and history throughout the town. They have an impressive collection of totem poles with dozens scattered throughout the town. And one of the most popular totems is a killer whale totem that adorned Chief Shake's grave. Nearby is also a petroglyph beach where you can find 48,000 year old petroglyphs. So there's 40 of them and they're 8,000 years old. They even have a little display with has replicas, so you can bring like a paper and crayon and do a rubbing and take home that little piece of what those 8,000-year-old petroglyphs look like. We're also going to visit Prince Rupert, Canada. It was first settled, again, that tremendous history, first settled by humans 5,000 years ago. It is the transportation hub of British Columbia's north coast. Visitors can enjoy activities like golf, whale watching, nature walks. There's also even a canning museum and a city museum there. So lots to be seen and done there. Now, Steve and I, we are your Alaska Air experts. We've already visited 6 times, and I've recently attended 2 Visit Alaska travel agent trainings. And we're here to make sure that you get the most out of your Alaska cruise experience. We're super excited about the fact that this is that 28 night where you get more of everything. So you can visit Mendenhall Glacier. That actually, if you go to Mendenhall Glacier on your excursion, that's actually going to give you a 5th glacier experience. It's just outside of Juneau. It's only like 12 miles. You take a shuttle out there. But again, we're going to have those 4 glacier viewing experiences from the ship, and that's more than you get on any other Holland America cruise, or I think any large cruise ship. They usually have 1, maybe 2. And there's excursions that you can take to even see, like I mentioned, Kenai Fjords. You can take an excursion out there to see the glaciers. Here's a look at some of those incredible glacier areas. And then I have the picture of the little boat excursion that you can take to get even closer. Beautiful, beautiful sights to visit all these stunning glaciers. And this cruise is going to offer you more unique ports and authentic Alaskan experiences than any other. I mean, look at all those places that you're not going to visit on any other cruise. And I always say this, I like this video. You probably can't hear the sound, but this is a little harbor seal eating the salmon. And this was my 6th trip to Alaska. I had never seen this behavior. This is right up Creek Street in Ketchikan. So every time you go to Alaska, you are going to be experiencing something different. And with this cruise having the 28 nights, it is going to give lots of opportunities for new experiences, even for those of us who have been there multiple times. So now Amanda and I, if you want to unmute yourself, we're going to talk a little bit about that onboard experience that Holland America offers. And I can honestly say that I actually, as a guest of Holland America, truly love the experience. And we're going to talk about the pillars. So I'm going to have Amanda just talk about the pillars of excellence from Holland America.
So these are our 5 pillars that we really focus on, that we keep in mind whenever we're creating our itineraries, whenever we're creating the experiences for the excursions. This is what we're really focusing on. We want to make sure you have as much flexibility as possible. We want you to see as much as you'd like to do. We want, after these past couple of years, we want to see as much as possible. We want to get out there. We want to experience things. We want to just explore the world. So this is where we really put a lot of focus into the details for our excursions. What's available on board that's going to allow you to immerse yourself in the destination. All of these different excursions and options on board are really going to bring this destination to life even more than those 28 nights out there exploring Alaska. Food is so important on vacation. When you have a great meal on your vacation, that's one of the first things you come back and tell people. You take pictures of it, you post it on social media, you remember how great that food is. That's so important to us. We have a culinary council that pieces together our menus, our cocktail pairings, our wine pairings, and even the decor in all of our restaurants. So this is a place where you are going to get fine quality food with someone who has been so passionate about it their entire lives putting it together. Even in our Lido deck, all of the food is made to order. So it isn't that regular buffet style. You're getting the freshest, best tasting food available, even in the Lido deck. Music. Music is something that truly brings people together. It evokes emotion. It creates memories. It really instills so much. And bringing music and the vacation together is something that you will always remember. We have some of the best artists on board bringing this music, bringing those memories to life. I know Suzanne will talk a little bit more about that also. Service. One of the things we hear the most when passengers come back from a Holland America cruise is the service they received. Being seen, being heard, having someone remember their favorite pre-dinner cocktail, remembering what kind of wine they like to drink before dinner. All of that is something that our crew and our staff pay attention to make sure your experience is something special and unique. And of course, our ships. Suzanne mentioned before, our ship is going to get to places other ships cannot go. And that's what makes a Holland America ship perfect because it's big enough to give you all of these varieties and options on board the ship and takes you to places you just can't go with anybody else.
All right. Thank you, Amanda. So we're going to elaborate a little bit on those pillars. So talking about for explorers, Holland America gives you the opportunity to view wildlife from the ship and then ashore. So she talked about those carefully curated excursions. They also have excursions that are just panoramics, and those are for people who aren't that active, but they still want to get out and see the sights. So if you don't have to be in a kayak to really experience Alaska. There's lots of different ways that you can experience it. And so much of it can be seen right from the ship. You see the lady with the binoculars. I recommend binoculars and a zoom camera because you are going to be able to get some really good pictures of the wildlife if you and see things much more up close and personal with those two items. And here's the Culinary Council. So these are all kind of famous world-class chefs. They've designed menus. They've all made contributions to the menu, but we don't want to see them. We want to see what's the food like. And so these are some of my favorite menus. When you're outside just enjoying the sail away, they come around with these wonderful little appetizers on these spoons. They're delicious, all different kinds of flavors. The Dive In is one of their fast casual eateries, has the best burgers and dogs at sea. The Pizza Restaurant, which is another one of the fast casual venues, beautiful, beautiful pizzas, and they even make them to order for you. And then I want to say something about the freshness of the fish when Holland America is traveling in Arctic waters. They source all of their fish locally. It is so delicious. This is a picture from our cruise when we were in Iceland and Greenland. And I love beef. I wanted my beef, but they also had fish and chips, and it was so delicious. I was like, "Can you just put one little piece of the fish on my plate too?" The food is just so well thought out. And again, I have pictures of some of the different variety of food in the Lido marketplace. So again, not a buffet. You just don't go through and shovel food there's some thought into it, and it's very carefully prepared and handed to you. Specialty dining is something that is really an outstanding part of Holland America's culinary program. And our two favorites are the Pinnacle Grill and the Canaletto. Canaletto is an Italian eatery. Pinnacle Grill is like a traditional steakhouse. And who wouldn't love a curtain of bacon, I guess, unless you're a vegan. But for those of us who aren't vegans, we love that curtain of bacon. And Holland America, with their Have It All program, is going to allow you to experience these venues at no extra charge as part of your package with the Have It All program. So that's something that's really exciting, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. So now and talk about the music walk because people who know me know that I'm a music lover. And the thing I love most about the Holland America ships is that the music walk, the different artists kind of take turns playing sets. So you don't have to run up and down, go up elevators to go listen to a different kind of music. It's all right there for you and it transitions one to the other. The BB King Blues Club has some of the best blues musicians I've ever heard, and they play in the land-based BB King Blues Clubs. They also come on board the Holland America and play this wonderful repertoire of blues and funk and soul and truly, truly remarkable artists and musicians. Then they also have the Billboard on board. And this is where you have two piano players that play like the greatest hits of all time from the Billboard charts. So they'll take a year, 1970, and they'll play a whole bunch of songs there. Or they'll take an artist, we're doing Elton John tribute night. Or they'll take country night and they'll do, chart topping songs from country music. The Lincoln Center on stage is where you're going to get your classical music. You're going to hear things like Gershwin and Mozart, all of that beautiful classical music. It's usually earlier in the evening, and because then the party starts with the BB King band a little bit later in the evening. And then the Rolling Stone Rock Room. One of the things that I love is that there's music for all ages. So I'm an 80s girl. Billboard on Board had just finished playing their set. And the band started playing across the room and they were playing Just What I Needed by the Cars. And I'm like, bye, friends, I'm going to go dance. And I had to get up and dance. And it's I have to say that the Billboard on Board, the last set of the night is their all request. And they will play, if you want George Strait, they will play George Strait. If you want a crazy song from Eurovision, the Will Ferrell movie, they will play that for you. They really are amazing artists and they really make it interactive. The World Stage is another music venue. They have the BBC Earth in Concert, where they play the music videos and they have a live orchestra. The Step One Dance Company, which they do like a dance variety show, and they're usually joined by some of the BB King singers. So it is singing and dancing. And then their entertainment headlines, sort of, their guest piano player or violinist or singer will come in here and perform in the World Stage. And then that renowned service, I can't tell you how welcomed we felt when we did those 24 nights on Holland America. And it felt like we were family from the beginning. And the crew were still having on that cruise, they still had to wear masks. We were having to wear masks on that cruise, and yet we still were able to connect with each other. So no masks required anymore, and hopefully that won't have to come back. But we were completely pampered on our 24-day cruise, and we're just looking forward to coming back to Holland and being pampered even more. And now we talked about this, just the right size ship. So this ship is 11 decks and only 2,000 passengers. So if you have ever pulled into port next to a mega ship in, say, Juneau, and you see those passengers, those 5,000 or 6,000 passengers disembark, it looks like a trail of ants. And it's going to be a much more easier logistical issue with only 2,000 passengers. It's a lot more intimate, and the ship is plenty spacious for those 2,000 passengers. You're not going to feel crowded either. Here's just a couple of pictures from the Westerdam. The Billboard on Board area, in the most recent dry dock, the observation lounge, which is a really big, beautiful space that you're going to spend a lot of time in Alaska, because you're going to be looking for those whales and you're going to be looking for all those animals, and you don't want to be standing outside. It's a lovely, lovely space on this ship. And then the rooms were recently redecorated, and the lobby area, the guest relations area, had some renovations during the most recent dry dock. This is going to be our home away from home for 28 days. And this is a typical standard balcony. Of course, the suites, if you're interested in booking a suite, are a little bit bigger than this. And people used to tell me that Holland America was for old people, but after experiencing the lively atmosphere on our most recent cruise, I would say Holland America is a cruise for all ages. You're only as old as you feel, and Holland has a little something for everyone. And again, you can be as active or relaxed as you want on a Holland America cruise. I always like to put this slide up just in case we have anyone that's new to cruise. I don't know if we do, but I want you to know that the Holland America experience is very, very inclusive. Food, activities, entertainment, and more are all included with your basic cruise fare. So, but there's more. So let's talk about Have It All Plus program. Even more is included with the price of your cruise. You get the free prepaid gratuities, and Holland doesn't offer that promotion all the time like some other cruise line stuff. It's only with this special limited time promotion. You get the free upgrade to the premium Wi-Fi. You get the free upgrade to the elite beverage package. You get $300 per person towards shore excursions and 3 nights of specialty dining. So Have It All Plus really, really makes it a very inclusive product. The gratuities for a standard cabin are worth $16 per person per day. So if you think about it, you're just paying $34 per day for your drinks, your Wi-Fi, those short excursions that you get, and your 3 nights of specialty dining. Really is the best value, and the best time to book that Holland America cruise is now while this promotion is running. We do have options though, so I kind of want to go over the 3 different ways that you can book. So that Have It All Plus rate, which is going right now, and you can see it is a tremendous value on this cruise. If you book while we're running the Have It All Plus promotion. Our group rates are deeply discounted. And for somebody who doesn't want to have all those extras, there are some people that are like that. But like I said, if you do the math, it's $34 per day to get all those goodies. So you might as well. But if you don't, you can book our group rates without the Have It All. You'd be on your own for your gratuities and your drinks and your Wi-Fi and all that stuff. But for just $50 per person per day, and like I said, that's only $34 more. You can add the Have It All Plus amenities to our group rate. And that makes a tremendous difference because you are going to be saving by booking into my group $500 to $1,790 per person. This is what you get for working with an agent that was on the spot. Amanda told me what day these itineraries were going to be released, and I went in and blocked out my group and was able to lock in the lowest pricing of the year. And then we have the ability to add Have It All Plus to that. It's a tremendous savings if you book through me. If you are a past guest of Holland America, I think we have quite a few of those on this call. You can also take advantage of the loyalty onboard credit, which is $400 per stateroom for the loyalty. And this, you have to book within 90 days of release, and this was released on July 6th. So you're well within the window. You definitely want to book now to take advantage of that program. So here's a quick comparison of just a couple of categories. Now, Steve and I chose to do an ocean view on this cruise. We usually are balcony people, but we thought, let's keep the budget a little bit in line because Steve and I travel a lot. So if you do the Have It All early booking bonus, it's $93.39 per person. If you do our no per cruise one pricing, it's $7,029 per person. And if you add the Have It All early booking bonus, it brings it up to $84.29. I think my math is correct because you're going to add $1,400 to the $7,029. Yep, that's okay. Just did a double check on the math, and that's $900 less than if you booked with Holland America Direct. Also, if you want a balcony, and I have the savings in almost every balcony category, but if you look there, that's where you're going to get that tremendous savings of $1,790 per person. It really is a great deal, and I'm so thrilled that I'm able to offer you not only all my services and all these onboard perks, but a terrific price as well. And there's more. If you book by August 15th, we're going to add another onboard credit of $50 to $150 per cabin to your booking. And that is based on this chart. So you can see it's over 15 days, type of cabin you book. This is exclusive offer for my Cruise One clients that book during this promotional period. And finally, we're going we're going to add to our theme of more as a special gift to our guests who book into our promotional group. We're going to add a sea day lunch at the Pinnacle Grill. So that's going to be really nice. It gives you kind of a break from the Lido or the dive in. You can go and have a nice seated lunch at the Pinnacle Grill. And then we're going to give you an additional night at the Canaletto Grill where you can have all that wonderful Italian food. So that gives you two chances to go there and try some different dishes each time you go. Now, I do want to add, if the 28-day cruise is just too long for you, we do have some special pricing on the two 14-night cruises with similar savings for 2025. So I can help you out with that. And we have a lot of special pricing on the 7-day experiences in 2025. The other thing I do specialize in is helping my guests take these amazing cruises that are all over the world and they depart and return to a US port. We have some special pricing on those. So if that's something you're interested in, give me a call. I can run down all my specials and kind of give you an idea of what is available for some of these amazing itineraries where you can see the world without a long overseas flight. So we hope you are ready to get more of Alaska. You'll get more experiences, more discounts, more perks, more onboard credit, more personalized vacation planning. That's where I come in. We want to thank you so much for attending. And I've got a couple more slides. I just want to remind you, everybody has my phone number. You got it in the emails that I sent to you. Call me for a complete quote. For this exciting itinerary. We have a low price guarantee. You'll get my concierge level service and a personalized consultation. And again, we want to invite you to follow us on Facebook. Go to our YouTube page. We have lots of webinars and lots of videos of our adventures on there. And so all the social media stuff is right there. So I want to thank everybody. I'm going to quit sharing my screen. See, yep, that was the last one. So
you might need to go back. So well.
Yeah, I can go back if anybody needs me to reference. I can start sharing again. But is there anybody who has any questions
or remember, you need to
wants
unmute
to make
yourself
any
if you want to ask
comments?
a question.
You're on mute, so you need to unmute yourself to do that. Amanda, did you have any comments you wanted to add?
Okay. Oh, I think you covered a great deal of information and so much to see out there on this itinerary.
I am so passionate about Alaska, and it really is our most beautiful state. I mean, it's hard to say that because every state's beautiful, but it's so dramatic with the glaciers and all the animals, and it's amazing. And you know, the whales are making a comeback. They were nearly hunted to extinction in the 19th century, early 20th century. And now they're more protected. So you see them more often. It's an amazing experience. Absolutely amazing. Carol, did you have a question?
I have a quick question.
Yes.
You seem to know how long the ship would be in dock in Juneau. Do you have any idea how long it'll be in dock in Nome?
Let me see. Steve, do you have the itinerary handy? Can you pull it up real quick? I've got yeah, Steve's going to pull up the itinerary and get that for us.
Thanks.
I think it's a pretty good day. I mean, it's not like 2 hours. It's a good day there.
Let's see. We'll be arriving in Nome at 8 a.m. and leaving at 5 p.m. as it stands now.
Yeah, that's so lots of chances to go and maybe go see one of those old gold mining areas, or I want to go see the musk oxen because it's like the last critter on my Arctic list that I haven't seen. So that's what I want to go see. All right. Anybody else have any questions or comments? Well, we can stop the recording because what we found is that we stop the recording and then people ask questions. So